This is a review for the Sig P365 XL. Demonstrations of shooting this firearm are always performed in a large outdoor shooting designated area, and safety protocols are always followed. Today, we're gonna go over this. This is the Sig P365 XL Coyote, so this is the NRA edition. This one comes optics ready and has a longer slide, longer barrel, and has a pretty impressive capacity for a micro compact pistol. Let's do a little talking about it. So here it is. This is the P365 XL NRA Coyote edition. I love the color scheme. It kind of looks like one of the full-size military style M17s, M18s, except this is a little baby guy. So it has that same Coyote, FDE brown, bronze, tan, peanut butter kind of finish on it. This particular model does have a longer barrel, and you do have a longer slide as well. This one is optics ready and has a really good capacity. So I can't really talk about capacity on YouTube anymore, but the capacity is extremely impressive for this tiny little guy. Here's just an example of the size of my hand and the gun itself. So this has become my new EDC because of the size reasons. One thing I really like about this is the ergonomics. The grip is extremely comfortable. It's thin, it's not very wide. One thing you might notice also, you do have an advanced flat forward-facing trigger. This particular model is optics ready, and it has that shield cut footprint for the optic. So what I did was I attached the Ride-On MPRD2 red dot on there. This optic has shake awake, it has automatic timeout, automatic brightness to adjust or adapt to your surroundings. I have a whole nother video on this red dot optic right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and post that link in the description below. Maintenance and cleaning of any firearm, of course, is important. So I'm gonna show you guys how to break this down in the name of maintenance and safety. Little YouTube disclaimer there, sorry about that. See, first thing you do is you pull this back. Obviously, you make sure the magazine is not inside it and that it's clear. Then what you do is you take this breakdown lever right here and just rotate it down clockwise. Then you release it, and then it pulls right off. You do not have to depress the trigger in order to take it apart. Very easy breakdown. Again, big fan of the lever style breakdowns. So you have your recoil spring, and then the barrel just comes right out. So it's easy cleaning, easy access, easy maintenance. One thing that's kind of interesting about the P365 series, and I think the P320 series as well. I haven't played with those, so I don't know for sure. The serialized part of this firearm is actually this fire control group. You can see right back here, the serial number is not actually stamped on the frame, rather it's stamped inside this insert right here. You can upgrade those and change those out for whatever you desire, but as far as I know, they consider this more or less a grip module, and then the firearm is actually inside this grip module, which is kind of neat. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to, and really simple with putting things back together. Once you put the slide back on, you just take this, pull it back, and then once you pull this lever up, it actually snaps the takedown lever back, and you're good to go. So, very simple concept, very easy breakdown. I want to give a huge shout out to Ted Shooting Range for opening the range for us to shoot in and for their hospitality. This target is 10 yards away from me, so it's not too far. So that's not too bad. I mean, that's the grouping, all 15 rounds right there. Very consistent. I love it. So far, so good. This is the configuration, how I bought it. Now it comes with an optics plate right over here, and on that optics plate, And on that optics plate, you have two night sight dots right here, and then you have a night and day sight dot right here. So you got the tritium fiber optic combo up front, and then the two tritium dots in back. As far as sight picture, it seems just fine. It gives me kind of a Glock feel, not so much the U shape, but just the squaredness of the actual sights. It's a very easy sight to look through and aim. So we're gonna do another 15 rounds right now with the optics plate configuration. This thing is so incredibly shootable, just extremely comfortable. And this is a very small gun if you guys haven't noticed. Comparable in size to the Shield, the Hellcat, it's all in that category. They do make the 365 that does not have this little extended barrel either. This is the XL version. One thing we're gonna do right now is we are gonna do a trigger pull test to see what this trigger pull actually comes in at. And then let's pull it back, 5 pounds. 6.25. Of course, I think I was a little closer to the actual hinge at that point. So let's try that one last time. All right, pulling back. 5.95. I've fired probably at least 600 rounds through this thing by now. And pretty much every time I go shooting, testing other guns out, stuff like that, I put this thing through the test and I do at least a few magazines. And I shoot quite often, so this thing's actually been getting a lot of exercise, and I haven't been doing a good job maintaining cleaning on it either, and it's been holding up just well. And that's actually on purpose. Now, recently I did just give it a cleaning again because I don't necessarily want to neglect my guns, but when I'm testing something, I'm probably not going to clean it for the first few times just to see how it runs when it starts getting fouled up and dirty. So this guy right here has been shooting pretty much nothing but Blazer brass. It's the 9mm 115 grain stuff, but it's been running flawlessly. And through the 600 rounds or so that I've fired through this thing, has not had one single failure or hiccup or anything like that. So it's definitely won my confidence over as far as like an EDC type gun. So one thing I really like about this guy is the grip and the stippling. The overall ergonomics, you do have that single finger groove right here. So even though this is a micro compact gun, it gives my finger something really good to grab onto. That middle finger just sets right in there under the trigger loop really well. So you do have that underside, I guess it's kind of an underside cut, but it's just very comfortable, ergonomically comfortable. One thing I do not like about this is the rail system that they decided to use. This is like a proprietary claw type Sig mount. Now they do make like TLR7. They even make adapters and stuff for it if you do want some kind of a pick rail under there. But it'd be nice if this was just a pick rail in general. I don't think I'll be actually mounting any lights or anything to this, just because I want to keep it kind of slim and skinny and compact, but it would be nice if I didn't have to buy something special to adapt a light to fit on this. So the slide serrations are very deep and very comfortable. I wouldn't mind if they rode a little higher up. Really easy to rack this thing back. Even for a subcompact, the springs don't feel too tight on it, which is nice. And that could be because I've broken it in quite a bit already. The thing about this, since it is a micro compact pistol as well, if you do decide you want to mount a red dot, that means you are taking off your rear iron sight. Now this particular red dot actually has a little cutout in the back right there. So you can kind of use that as a co-witness iron sight, and it actually works pretty well. This red dot was pretty much zeroed as soon as I put it on it, and I've done quite a bit of testing with it and it's been performing just fine. So even if that dot does end up failing at one point, I still have a sight to co-witness on, which is pretty nice and a cool design by Ride-On. Overall, it's very compact, very slim, and the capacity is very impressive. Per YouTube rules and stuff, I cannot actually talk about capacity number on magazines. So I'm gonna do a full 15 rounds. So we're gonna do another 15 rounds right now. Just know that it's quite a bit, and you can find that number out on the website itself. I'll talk about the elephant in the room real quick, and that's going to be the fact that this is called the NRA edition. And that was actually one of the reasons why I almost didn't want to buy it necessarily, because I didn't necessarily want to deal with the ridicule of buying this and testing it out. You know what, in the end, I bought a gun that I liked. and I'm happy I did because it's a very comfortable gun. So it's a good shooter, and that's why I did that. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed this review. Hope you all found it useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, MrBigKid channel. Thank you all so much. I'll see you later.